What's up, everybody? It's been so long. How are you? This is Black Ramen Podcast. I myself, Chatty Patty, aka Madam Straw Hat, aka The Celestial Freaking Dragon, aka I'm back on board with this pirate ship, not live action anime only. And I have with me.
Hello, hello. This is Sleepy Bree. I'm doing well. And yeah, I'm excited. There's more stuff, and we're about to get mad as usual in this episode.
What's up, everybody? This is Sexual Chocolate. I will not be mad. No, I refuse. I will not let these people make me mad. They won't
You're
get
always
me.
on your meditation life.
That's right. I can't be an angry black man. They'll get me shot. It's a whole thing.
Ooh.
Dang.
Sorry we've been away for this long. We missed all of y'all. We just have so much stuff going on, so much stuff brewing, and it's for you guys. So hopefully you guys tune into this episode. This is gonna feel like a big hug because we really did miss you guys. I'm sorry, but after all is said and done, we're gonna get back on track. We're gonna have our weekly episode. We're gonna try. We're gonna try. You hear me? Anything. She never let me have anything.
Yo, you know, if they've been listening this long, they are well aware we have never uploaded 2 weeks in a row. I don't think there's been a single time.
No, we've done it at least once.
We have?
At least once.
Dang, look at us in our heyday. Well, we're old now.
Oh my God.
We will put out when there's time. Sometimes we got a headache.
Put out when it's time. Okay.
Sometimes we got a headache.
I see. I see. This message is brought to you by Sleepy Bree. Sleepy Bree. So, moving forward, I do have a couple of topics I want to talk about. It's going to get a little messy, so I hope you guys are ready for this. So, if you haven't noticed, there is this individual, and I'm going to say individual because I don't know who he is. I don't know what he is, to be honest with you, but I'm not going to come in with all the hate. Let me just go forward. There is an individual by the name of Devontae Wilson. Now, Devontae Wilson has a social media account on TikTok where he has over 7.1 million followers, right? We can label him as an influencer because with that amount of followers, you are getting a check from TikTok. He decided to come out with a video over a minute long saying, quote, this is how he starts off the first sentence of the video. Is it wrong for me that I stem away from black people? And he laughs. That's when I knew it was a shit show. I was like, oh my gosh. And he continues to say that black people did not embrace him. I could say this. I saw the video. If you guys try to look for the video, he's already taken it down. And so you won't find it until you find, if you put Devontae Wilson, you'll see people already did stitches to the video. So they screen recorded the video and then did the stitch, and then did a response to it. But you will not find the original video. So he did go along saying that he never felt accepted in the black community. He was always made fun of. Not only was he always made fun of, he was robbed. Anytime he was robbed by black people. He also allowed black students to cheat off of him on his exams. Like, just I don't know. He was just going gun-ho. And he was also like confirming the stereotypes about black people, saying that, you know, they're not nice people. The typical stereotypical shit that you hear. Not to mention, he also goes along to say that he was considered an Oreo. Now, if you guys don't know this, an Oreo is a term that we used to use back in the day. I never used it, but I used to hear people use it back in the day when they were where they were referring to a black person who, quote unquote, acts white. Right? Now, when we say quote unquote act white, it's not necessarily like, well, basically saying the mannerisms as far as like liking stuff that typical black kids won't like or black people will like alternative music, going into rock, going into nerd fandom. That's what people would consider, well, some black folks would consider being an Oreo.
I would even take that a step further because I believe out of the three of us, I am the closest resident Oreo. So yeah, because you said you
not us.
I heard it.
I
heard it all the time. Not as some music gets me. I was like, oh yeah, that Oreo life. So it's, you know, very clearly black on the outside, white on the inside. And that happens a lot around Black kids who are raised in predominantly white, or I think in his case he's like raised in Japan or something. I don't know.
Wait, we
But
didn't go there yet. We didn't go there
Okay,
yet.
sorry, but raised in predominantly non-Black areas,
Mhm.
and it is something that kind of like screws with your identity growing up. Because I believe I only know of one other Black girl in my grade between kindergarten to 6th grade, and maybe by the time I get to high school, there was 3 or 4. But one thing I always know is I didn't really have a single Black friend I considered a close friend to me until college.
Mhm.
Until I was 18 or 19 years old, I was around pretty much only white people, the occasional Latino person since I was growing up and living in Los Angeles. I went to a private school though, so you know, they were all hoity-toity. And maybe like a few Asian kids in the class, but for most part, vastly predominantly white. And that definitely shows in the way I talk and the way I act around certain things. I had my hair like permed all the way until I started going to college because I could only wear it straight. I'd never imagine like wearing it kinky or curly because, you know, that was a little bit too ethnic for where I was. So it was something that definitely screwed with your identity, the idea of like kind of wanting to fit in but not really. And it also screws with the way you look at other Black people, because I can say this now, I feel like I've gotten better, but even I would look at the few times there were other Black people in my grade and thinking, I don't want to be that kind of Black though. Like even just like if a girl's wearing, I remember like the one other Black girl in my elementary school, she would bring her hair in like braids sometimes, and like, isn't that a little ghetto? I don't know. Like growing up, because that's what happens when you grow up around predominantly white. As you get older, you need to recognize the influences of that kind of internalized racism, because it's not an active racism. It's like not like anyone told me Black people are ghetto or anything. It's just the idea of I know I look different, or I know I act different, or I know my family looks different, and I want to be more like the vast majority that fit in. Let's just say it turns coonish. If you don't figure it out and recognize the issues with yourself by society pouring bad ideas into your head, then you'll just go along with them and you become a coon.
But it becomes deeper than that. I have other things to reveal about him, but Derby was going to say something.
So you were saying that society wasn't really telling you like what to think about Black people, but I feel like it's changing now, definitely, with a lot more Black people in charge of things that are showing up in media. But back in the day, it was very hood heavy. Like anything was either slavery or it was in the hood. So I remember
Gang violence.
even though I grew up around Black people, I grew up around Black people in church and I grew up around Black people in private schools. So it was a little bit confusing because every time I saw those depictions on TV, it was just, oh, me and my friends are not Black enough. Like I remember feeling that, but like you said, like once I became an adult, I understood. Oh, this is just what they're pushing. This is just what they're showing me all the time. But I know better, and I did have that benefit of knowing other Black people, so I knew, hey, they're not all like what I see on, I don't know, Head of State or whatever.
The
whatever
Wire.
movie was. Thank you.
Not the Wire. Not the Wire. Oh my God.
I don't know what movie I was thinking of. The Penny Siegel one, but I cannot remember the title for the life of me. That's what I'm going for. By the way, like, it wasn't just hood movies that make up the whole Black culture. So, like Bree was saying, it's just work that you have to do on yourself to just get there and go, oh, okay, I see. That's the message they were sending. It's wrong, clearly. The numbers don't match up. Like a quick Google search will just tell you the numbers don't match up. Oh, were you robbed by Black people? Guess what? That just means you were around Black people. like, guess what? You go to a poor white neighborhood, guess who's robbing you? It's gonna be white people. Like, that's just how it works.
I totally agree. Totally resonate with what you're saying. I know it. I mean, but for me, it was a little different because I still had my friends and I had my non-Black friends. And I still felt the need to code switch.
I haven't
The way
stopped
I would
code
talk
switching, so
to-
yeah.
Yeah, code switch is a way of life. It is a way of life. It's your defense mechanism if you're a Black person. And so remember I said that I was introduced to anime from my Asian friend. So remember, we both, I guess we both code switched each other. He would talk to me, I would talk to him. You think we were the best friends in class, but when we were outside of class, we never spoke to each other. We, even by passing, we would never say hi. Cause he know his friends would be like, how the fuck you know this nigga? And my friends would be like, how the fuck you know this bitch? So it'd be like, we just knew where the line was. And even then, like, there were things that I were interested in that I would not talk to my black friends about because I knew they'd be like, what? But I knew this was never something for me to be like, oh, my distaste for black people. No, it never was.
I just thought my friends were weird.
Yeah, see?
Like, yo, y'all ain't got taste. I don't like y'all like that.
Yeah, like at a certain point, much early, not even like once you hit 18, you're an adult. Like by the time you're an early teenager, you have to recognize, yo, there's something weird in my thinking. It's like I said, when I was in elementary school, I would feel awkward. When I was in elementary school, I thought I had to wear my hair straight because, you know, black girls with braids were ghetto. Mm-hmm. By the time I, like, I don't know, hit double digits, you know, by 10 years old, I recognized, yeah, I'm kind of weird for thinking like that. Something is wrong with that. It's not something I need to apply to everyone who's black, everyone who's this, everyone who's that. It's something that it doesn't apply. So I can't imagine going on and saying like, I try to avoid being around like those kind of people. I try to avoid being around black people now. I would never go online saying anything like that. Like, yeah, they're mean, they're not very welcoming, and making those kinds of mass generalizations. Even then, like even back or the early 2000s and the early 2010s, but especially now in this current climate, in this country, like I assume Devontae lives in the US, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, as things are right now in this post-Trump era, this heavily division, post-BLM, Blue Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter nonsense fights we have going on, you choose to go live on, what was it, the 4th of July, I believe, that day, talking about, you know, how unwelcoming the black community is, how they bullied you and traumatized you.
Well, this kind of
this is a conversation.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a conversation you could have had in the AOL chat room, and people could have been like, I could kind of see how you got there, because you don't know better. You know, you haven't spoken to enough people. The internet's still kind of fresh and new. You know, the research is not really at your fingertips. You got to go to, like, Google Scholar. You can't just do...
Not the Google Scholar.
Yeah, like, you know, you got to go to Google Scholar, do some deep dives to really get the numbers. But now, like, it's a weird stance to take. Like, you know better, like, especially with that apology video that came out, like, come on. Like, I can't just take that at face value. You knew.
No, but here's the thing, right? What you guys are missing is the end result.
Mm-hmm.
And what got to the end result. So after all this happened, right? People were calling him out. And he decided, no, people were calling him out, and people did some digging and realized that he never went to school in the United States. He went to school in Japan. He speaks fluent Japanese.
Like,
he was on a podcast, and they took a recording, and they said, "Is this you?" Because, you know, TikTok is good for receipts. And they were like, "No, you can't say something like this." And people started putting two and two together. He has 7.1 million followers. They went to his videos and realized that his likes were declining, which happens every now and then when you have a major platform on TikTok, when you have all these followers, right? So then what happens is people started putting two and two together and said, what is the easiest way to get your numbers going is to wile up black people, especially black women. But he just went and said, fuck it, genre don't count. Let's just go for all of them, right? And he made a video and he said, I said what I said, basically saying that I lived my experience. You guys don't know what I lived through, and this is my truth, and I'm going to say it loud to the rooftops. And then finally, his numbers dropped. And people were saying that he was losing sponsorship deals And that's when the apology video came out.
So let me get this chronology right. He had a platform about 7 million followers. Those started decreasing. So he got the idea, you know what, let me say some shit, get people hyped. So he got the hype. And
No,
then
the
when
numbers,
things got rough,
no. His followers didn't decrease.
okay, until after.
No, the likes decreased. So he still maintained his following. It's just his likes for the videos weren't doing as much. Now, if you were a TikToker and you on the influencer, like the TikTok fund, where the creator fund, for you to get money, your videos have to have a certain number of likes for you to get money per video. So I guess he noticed that he wasn't getting set amount of likes. So that's when he decided, okay, I'm going to do this video. Right? Not to mention, right? What is so crazy? He took down those two videos. The main video where he said that I don't like black people, and the second video saying that I said what I said. So now the only thing that's up is the apology. Now I saw the apology. I saw the whole apology. I think it was like 10 minutes.
It's mad long.
Yeah,
I think I lasted like 2 minutes.
Then I realized I was giving him views and I didn't want to.
It was so crazy. He started playing victim, saying that I was just mad. I talked to my friend and I realized that what I said was wrong, and
I was so horrified. I cried.
Oh yeah, he does.
I realized what I did.
Like his white friend, because he said he don't have black friends.
I think he tried white woman tears.
No, he said a black friend. I think he said a black friend. And then he realized that his friend told him that he should never did that. So now he's coming out saying that, well, you know, I always envied people who had 2-parent homes because I never had one. I was like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Why are you trying to, like, not only did you build the stereotypical shit about why you hate black people, so you think if you put yourself in that scenario as well as the single parent household, you think that's cool? You think then we'll sympathize for you? No. Then he said he hated the color of his eyes. That's why he wear the blue-eyed white dragon contacts, right? Hideous
Are they
contacts.
red? Like, are they purple?
No, they're white.
Blue.
Oh, his eyes?
Like his regular eyes. Like, what color are they? Like,
brown eyes.
You got brown eyes. Like, what?
He has dark brown eyes.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit of this. I'm not projecting too much. I'm looking too much because of his "I hate black people" thing, but I feel like that's a little bit more of that internalized racism. What is beautiful is the blonde hair and the blue eyes. That is what is gorgeous and aesthetic. Therefore, I'm going to give myself blue eyes to approach that beauty standard a little more.
Which is crazy. Which is because he does have an S curl. Which is crazy. And then he came out and he said that in his apology tour, he came out, he wiped off all his makeup, took out the contacts, saying that this is me, I'm embracing me, and it's just internalized hurt. I'm sorry to the community. And there's a lot of people that are not accepting the apology because they felt that you already doubled down. It took for you to lose, quote unquote, I don't know, but a lot of people say he's lost a lot of sponsorships. It took for you to lose your sponsorship, for you to come out and say that you're sorry. That's a little suspicious. And not only that, why take the other, and then you took the video down. That's crazy. So I was just like, oh no, he's really, but there are other followers. There are other followers that said, you know, we gotta forgive him, take him home.
I don't know about we gotta forgive him, but like Derby, don't you have a thing about like needing room to apologize?
Yeah, so that's how we do it in society. Like, yo, you did something wrong, you gotta apologize for it, and we gotta be okay with them apologizing. Now, do you have to accept their apology at face value? Not for a second if you don't want to. All right, like for me personally, I'm gonna need to see a bit more before I go, okay, that dude actually meant it when he said sorry. Like, he has nothing to prove to me, but it's the same way as religions always say, like, you need more works to prove your faith. Like, this is what's going to need to happen. I'm going to need you to see, like, actual videos come out where, not so much pro-black, but, like, just proper videos where he's just doing the right thing. Like, I just need to see him be a bit more pro-black. So, yeah, I do need more pro-black stuff. I lied. So, yeah, I needed to see him put in the work before I go, okay, that apology was real. Like, he has absolutely nothing to prove to me. I'll never know what's actually in his heart. I don't know what he actually saw. But for me personally to say, okay, that dude actually meant it when he was like, yo, my bad, guys. I really didn't know. I need to see him put in the work. I said that like 3 times. My bad. Somebody take over. I'm rambling.
See, for me, I think this is a I'm done moment. Because, and this is the specific scenario, because I do agree there needs to be room for apologies. If someone messes up, they should get to apologize, and then you can figure out forgiveness after that. Like, it's important to acknowledge you're wrong. But when it comes to these influencers, I cannot trust it because everything feels like a stunt.
The reason I brought this up is because growing up, I've always known other Black people who were in the nerd space to say the same thing, especially Black men, that they weren't accepted. And that's why we have a lot of the coonish things going on in the community. You do have some Black folks that say, well, you know, the people that embraced me were the ones I went to rock concerts with and all that, right? Please don't look at the flying baby. But I'm like, woo, how he did that. So I just wanted to bring this to like an awareness for people who might feel that way that he does, even though what he's doing is a stunt. Let's be perfectly clear. What he's doing is a stunt, because when you look out through all his videos, and he has a bunch of them, none of them mentioned anything about, and I did my research, none of his videos prior to this mentioned anything about acceptance or Black. He never talked about race in any of his videos, except now. So let me just say this to the Black community that feels like they were left out, right? If you're in a predominantly Black school, right, and you feel like Black people don't accept you, you're getting picked on, it's not Black people don't accept you. It's just that you're in a predominantly Black school. So if you're getting bullied, it's a bully. Has nothing to do with what you like. You're just being bullied. That's it. It has nothing to do with...
You're a nerd getting picked on by other students.
That's it.
It's literally they just found something that annoys you and they just started hammering away at it.
That's it. That is it. And that tends to happen if you're in a predominantly Black school.
And that happens in school.
School in general.
Bullies are just a thing.
Exactly. For people to blame it and say that, oh, it's because of what I like and it's because Black people are not accepting on the culture that I am exposed to, that I love, is false. It's a very false narrative that it's impossible, because here's the thing. A lot of the things that you like that are mainstream right now are mainstream because of the Black culture. We are able to take pop culture, we're able to take anime, we're able to take gaming, all that to another level. The only thing we haven't perfected is making sure we get money after we make it hot. That's the only thing. That's what
Popeyes owes the whole Black community some money for that chicken sandwich.
That Black lady is not the CEO. I felt so bamboozled.
Oh, I was so mad. My family. Wait. She's not in charge?
Not in charge? Like,
no,
what?
It's a white woman.
She just works for these white folk?
No, it's a white woman named Nancy. Like,
It was a good ad campaign they ran, though.
She was.
It had me thinking, like, Popeyes or KFC? I don't know. Popeyes is the Black one, so I'll get Popeyes.
The way she talked to you, she come here, baby. I was like, I will come over here. Yes, ma'am. So that's the narrative I really dislike, especially you get some of this is from my perspective, is not to bash Black men, but there's a lot of Black men that have that narrative in their bio, right? And they'll say that to bash Black women and say, well, that's why I've never seen Black women into anime till now, because of the fact that, you know, this is a niche that only white folks accept, or, you know, they used to bully me because of what I like. It wasn't because you were Black. It was just because you were a nerd and you were just getting bullied. That's it. It has nothing to do with racism.
Which is not, it's still not right, but I
think that is something.
Like if you were at a white school, you would have been bullied there too for that.
But that's what I mean. I think it is something unique about this, like, intersection, because not only a nerd, but also Black. So it's also kind of like, which one is it? If I'm not fitting in with other people, is it because I'm Black? Is it because I'm a nerd? And it's something you have to figure out as you grow up.
Yeah, but also in figuring it out, don't lose your identity as well.
Absolutely.
Part of the dilemma is that you're building your identity. Like, your identity is more than just your race. So it's a lot of your interests. And, you know, hanging out, I remember, like, as a kid, like, hanging out with people who had interests that were more in line with what I guess the mainstream media said black people should be into was a little tough. It was very tough to like listen to rap music I didn't care about, but act like I did when I wanted to go home and watch Naruto. Like it's rough.
I totally agree with you. It is rough, but I mean, we're breaking stereotypes day by day. This podcast is doing it episode by episode, and I hope you're here to enjoy the journey as well. So that's one of the reasons why I brought this up, was because there are a lot of black people that bring this up and say that, you know, I'm being bullied by other blacks. I'm not being accepted by black people because of the fact that I like this, I like that. It's not because of that. It's just take it with a grain of salt. You're being bullied. It's not because you're black. It's if you're in a predominantly black school, you're just being bullied. And it sucks. I'm not saying you have to accept it, but I'm going to tell you right now, while those people that bully you peaked in high school, where are they now? I'm telling you right now, where are they now? Nowhere in your level. Because I guarantee you, when you are into graphic novels, anime, manga, your time, the way you age is like fine wine, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you that right now. So while they looking 50, 60, you are still not even in your final form, 20. I'm telling you right now. And it's a beautiful thing. You don't want to be like everybody else. You just want to be you. So
especially those of us who were bullied 10, 15 years ago or had a hard time. We're in a golden age of comics and anime and manga right now. Like, oh, you can't believe it's good. I'm glad I stuck with it.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, there's a girl in my comment. I followed her. I'll shout her out in a bit when I find her. She, I made a video saying, like, this is when I was on Negro Jumpman. Shout out to Negro Jumpman podcast, Negro Jump. So I said that when we're talking about black men saying that black women are around, and I said, no, it's not true. And I gave an answer why it wasn't true, because they wasn't checking for us. This beautiful soul in the comments was like, yo, I was bullied by this guy in high school for like an anime. And the funny thing is, right now he has a podcast about it. Wait, that's not even the best part. Right after, she says, I need my reparations. When she said that, I was like, bitch, let me get my lawyer. I will get one for you. Come on, let's go. But it's so true. Just understand, like, you already were getting into a hobby, a niche, not a niche, but a hobby in a store and in a level that people couldn't comprehend till 10 years later. Food for thought. That's why I wanted to touch this. And I felt it was necessary.
Like, yo, if this is something that's still affecting you, like, then you clearly need, exactly. Therapy. Right. Thank you for taking the word right out of my mouth. Yeah, therapy. You need help. And I hope you get it. Because, like, look, I don't know how harsh the bullying was. And if it was so harsh that it's still sticking to you now, like, you need to go see somebody.
Exactly.
Just talk it out. You know,
you can't just call something a trauma and have it be the end of the conversation. Like, oh, well, yeah, black people are a trauma for me. Okay, glad you recognize that's a trauma. You got to fix that trauma. Right? Like, it's like a broken bone. You got to set it and let it heal and move forward. Like, don't just say, like, oh, like, it's a trauma. I don't like it.
Step one, you know there's a problem. Step two, go fix it. Go do something.
You have to fix it, because the internalized hatred, you cannot have this much disdain for your own people. It's ridiculous, because there's no way you're going to be able to grow and love yourself for who you are, or you're going to walk around with blue-eyed white dragon contacts. And you don't need to do that. You really don't.
Unless you actually like them, in which case, rock them.
I mean, yes, but rock them for the right reasons.
Yeah, not because you hate your eye color, but like
because you're trying to cosplay as Gojo.
Exactly.
I'll let that pass. Dedication to the cosplay is always key. Always key.
All right. Well, next up, we're getting back into the anime with a bit of news. Hi, all. Welcome back. This is Sleepy Bree here with my latest anime tea. So, I hope y'all enjoyed that. It's apparently going to play every time before I give news from now on.
Every time! I'm about to have that as an intro. I don't care.
Anyway, Let's start this off with a congratulations to Jujutsu Kaisen. As of the end of June, the manga has over 80 million copies in circulation.
Ooh.
So that's a pretty good landmark, especially with their new season starting, which is kind of a prequel season, but it's a good arc. We'll talk about the summer anime coming up next. But after that, recently, Anime Expo in Los Angeles has just finished up. I believe it was over 4th of July weekend. And a few days before. So it is now a 4-day con. It was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, which is a lot of con.
Wow,
and yet
it went to the next week? It went to the next week?
It went to the next week.
Jesus.
I heard it was smelly. I heard it was still packed, which was a little strange because, you know, Anime NYC, after getting back from COVID, first year was terrible with lines, but they fixed it up by the next year.
Did they?
But they did. It was easier. It was a lot better. No one was standing out in the cold for like 4 or 5 hours waiting.
Yeah, we could easily walk through the whole Artist Alley and not bump into anyone.
Yeah, okay. So it was better. But apparently not Anime Expo. It was crowded as hell, miserably
Sardine Expo.
Sardine Expo. That being said, if I get a shot, I'm still going if I can. But at Anime Expo, they announced that the next one will be July 4th through the 7th in 2024. So they're planning on doing it again. I hope they fix their overcrowding issue. But at this current 2023 Expo, there were a few announcements. Okay, deep breath, guys. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Black Butler, Kuroshichiji, one of my all-time favorites. I have been following this series since I was like in middle school. Love it to hell and back. So right now, there's season 1 and 2 of the anime that's finished. Season 2 is shit. We pretend that doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't.
Then they decided to give it like a Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood treatment by remaking it from scratch with Book of Circus. Then they had Book of Murder movie. They had the Book of Atlantic movie. And now they're coming out with what is supposedly a new season. There's no specific date yet, but we do know it should be airing in 2024. I believe Crunchyroll has the license to it, so it should be simulcasted on Crunchyroll next year. My fellow Black Butler fans, celebrate. I intend to do a series rewatch. I just went to the store on Friday and bought some volumes of the manga because I'm like a few behind.
Yes.
So excited. Aside from Black Butler.
Real quick. This message is for J. Michael Tatum. Hey, baby. I just wanted to let you know that if you are not on the dub, if you are not playing Sebastian, I promise you, I will give this the illest rating ever. 2 thumbs down. There is no Black Butler without J. Michael Tatum.
Yo, I only watched the dub. It was before I was really doing subs a lot, so I watched the dub and I feel like it would be weird. So I know the Japanese voice actors are coming back for Ciel and Sebastian. I don't know if there's been any announcement on the English voice actors, but J. Michael Tatum, please, we need
some justice, please. Yep. Do you know that Ciel is played by a woman? She's a voice actress. I forgot her name, but she's very good. She's very good. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Aside from that, at Anime Expo, they also announced a new Panty and Stocking anime that'll be animated by Studio Trigger. So that'll be fun and wild. Have either of you watched Panty and Stocking?
Yeah, I saw it. I hate it. I thought it was hilarious. I hated the animation. Like, it was crazy to me, but then it was a gag anime. I feel like it was a funny anime, but it was cool.
I don't know if Trigger did it before, but Trigger's doing it now, and I love Studio Trigger. They're my favorite.
That's for Trigger. Thank you, Trigger.
Thank you, Trigger. So I'm excited about that. And the final announcement that we're going to talk a little bit about is the Suicide Squad anime. So I can't remember who announced it, but there is coming to be a Suicide Squad anime. They'll be animated by Wit Studio and Warner Brothers. But get this. So the person writing the script is Tape, the author of ReZero, as well as the author of Vivi Fluoride Eyes song. So they're collaborating on the script. And I know Tape from ReZero was so excited. In his like little brief interview, he said, this is a dream project because it is an isekai. It is the Suicide Squad isekai to a fantasy realm, and he just seemed really passionate about the project. So we know because of ReZero, he can write.
Well, you know what?
Right. So this, it seems like it'll be so fun. With Studio?
Nah. You know what? He should have been excited in making sure the protagonist picked the right girl. That's what he should have did. I'm still mad at
You didn't like that in ReZero?
mad. Yeah.
Wait, who did he get with? The white-haired girl, right?
Yeah. But he needs to get with one of the what's the sisters with the
Ren and Rem?
Yeah, probably Rem.
Rem. Yes, Ren is oh my god, that's Beach. That's Beach.
I mean, she did murder him a few times.
It don't matter. It's talking about the past. It's about the past. It's not like he wasn't gonna come back.
But yo, the trailer looked so good.
It did. I'm very excited for it. Honestly, hearing who's working on it is raising the bar a bit too high for me, and I don't like that. As you all know, I like going in with low expectations to things. But it's sky high now, so I expect greatness.
This is big news because there's more money going into what I like. So the fact that it's getting picked up, the fact that we got an isekai writer involved, it can't go wrong. He just can't do any romance stories on this. He can't.
There's a problem because it is Harley Quinn and Joker we see in the trailer, so it's like,
yeah, but that's toxic romance that's been being done forever, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I feel like in Harley Quinn's other stuff, because they do have Warner Bros. Working on it, so Warner Bros. Has done a lot of DC, so I wonder if it'll keep up with the DC chronology. For example, in the DC, she and Joker are broken up. As of now, as of the second Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey, she's supposedly done, and I'd like to see that Harley continue. Or there's already a Harley Quinn animation that DC has, and I think it's on HBO Max or just Max now. I loved it. I'm a huge fan of that version of Harley, so I'm curious to see what they're doing with this one, because both of those versions of Harley are not in love romances with the Joker anymore. And I know that's a big part of her characterization through the comics, that she eventually breaks away from the Joker and goes individual.
No, she doesn't go individual.
No?
No. She ends up with Poison Ivy.
Oh, that's better. That's so you had me worried.
You know what's so crazy? It does go into her individualness before Poison Ivy goes in and say, hey, I like you. But she lets her heal first, which I like. She was her friend first. She didn't take advantage of the fact that she was vulnerable. She was her friend first.
Right? But I just mean that's what I would rather see in this anime, like the current progress of Harley Quinn and not the original, Joker and Harley. But I don't know if they'll do that. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it anyway. But that concludes my news segment. Next up, we have What Are We Watching in 2024? I know I briefly mentioned the Jujutsu Kaisen manga. Again, over 80 million copies in circulation. And the first episode has dropped so far. Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, but I am a little bit ahead in the manga, so I know that this will pretty much be that, flashback Gojo's history.
OP.
Here's the issue with what everybody's having. They're saying that it doesn't look as fabulous as season 1. And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, Mappa can't hit all the time. We can't give you the razzle dazzle all the time because we got other shit to do. So I think it still looks good. I think it looks amazing, but it's just not hitting as hard as season 1 did, because season 1, they basically was like, okay, everything is going into this. That's it.
Do you think Mappa's putting too much on their own plate? Because they're doing a lot, and I feel like that makes them suffer.
But they have no choice, because that's how studios work. They take as much work as they can get.
Yeah.
Even if the project suffer, as long as they get the contract.
Their name is on it. Yeah. I mean, they have a big staff. Not only that, they also had we're hiring on their anniversary. Which I thought that was pretty cool, because not only did they announce they had a new studio, they were also able to say, hey, you need a job? We're hiring. So I was like, that's pretty dope to have that in your announcement. So that's cool. But I do think Mappa is taking more than they can chew. But it is Mappa. And with their staff being over 300, I think they could execute it. But I'm not worried about staff. I'm worried about money-wise. Will they be able to have the funds to execute these animes? And that's what I'm worried about, because one day they're going to pick up Vagabond and I want all the fireworks, all the sprinkles, and I do not want them to skim. Not one part, not one soundtrack, not one bloodstain. I want it to go hard. And I feel like they might. They might. Because if they keep going like this, they might just give out. They might just be like, you know what? We need a break. We need a break. So
Yeah, I don't think they would so much take a break. They would probably just swap out artists for a while.
okay.
I'm sure they have like a BNC team.
Yeah, that's true. But somebody need to check on BNC too. Like, you know, because I'm pretty sure they tired too. Because for you,
they also working.
They working. They working. 'Cause for you to be consistent in all the works that you're doing, especially during COVID, my God. My God.
Speaking of COVID and working, Zom 100 also just dropped its first episode.
Yes, oh my God. Guys, if you're listening to find out what you should keep an eye on this season, Zom 100. Yo, the trailer alone for this was so good, it got Derby to go out and buy the manga.
Yeah,
we're now, what, 6, 7 volumes deep?
Yeah, so...
Amazing.
Yeah. It is the
episode?
perfect encapsulation of what millennials feel like going to the office.
Tell me you've seen the first episode yet. Tell me you've seen the first episode.
No, I haven't. But I'm looking at it right now. They even have a scavenger hunt on my anime list. So if you click on join the Zome 100 scavenger hunt, it's pretty dope. They really have.
Yo,
they
if you
also
watch
announced
the first
a live
episode,
action for it. We're excited to watch that one too.
Yo, it looks good. But the first episode, it's strong. It's good, and it's just such a fun premise. If you don't know, pretty much this guy would rather die than show up to work tomorrow. So when he wakes up the next day, tries to pay his rent, and sees, oh crap, they're zombies, his first thought isn't, oh crap, they're zombies. It's like, wait, does this mean I don't have to go to work today? Oh my God, I get a day off.
That's a normal
so
way of thinking. That's a normal way of thinking. That's what I'm thinking too.
Exactly.
Like, we feel it deep down.
The moment they said we're not supposed to go outside, I said, hold on, does that mean I don't go to work?
Right.
Yeah, that is what that means.
Well, you know what? Unlike everybody else, I had to because I was an essential worker. So
Thank you for your work. I appreciate it from home.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, you don't mean that shit. You don't mean that shit. You don't mean that shit.
But yeah, Zom 100, I think it might be a must-see of this season.
Yes. So far, Bug Films is crushing it.
I was like, yeah, that's the studio behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other fun ones that we've kept an eye on is Death Mount Death Play the Second. So if you don't know this, probably because we haven't recorded in a while, but Death Mount Death Play from the previous spring season was so fun. It had a crap trailer that made it look like basic and boring as hell, but every character was so endearing. We loved it.
So
and now there's something that might be a good follow-up. I call it Death Mount Death Play the Second because the title is dumb. It's Undead Girl Murder Farce. I'm never going to remember that. I'm sorry. But Undead Girl Murder Farce was just another very strong first episode. I don't know anything about the rest, but I know as of the start, loving it. Patty, I think you might like it too. It takes place during like a similar-ish time period as Black Butler, maybe a few years later. But like, you know, 19th century, 1800s, the start of when like the Western countries are really getting into Japan. And yeah,
persecution of like monsters and like half humans. And
okay, what's this called again? Hold on.
Undead Girl Murder Farce. Again, dumb
farce?
title.
I thought you meant farce.
Farce.
Okay.
Farce. Like, this is a farce. This is a travesty. Undead Girl Murder Farce.
I'm on my anime list. Why can I not see this? Oh, there it is. Found it.
Yeah. There you go.
That's been a fun watch. So it's a supernatural, slightly grim, slightly fun one.
So also, it seems like people are just realizing that the answer to having a good first episode is to set the bar super low and give you a crappy trailer.
No, I don't know what's going on with episode 1. There have been so many. I look at the trailer and say, that's dumb as hell. Then I watch the first episode and I'm like, never mind.
This is great.
I'm in. You got me.
Okay.
And how dare they? Because another one that's unexpectedly fun. This one is isekai trash, so Derby, maybe you can introduce it. The inanimate object.
Right. So every time we talk about the craziest isekai, there's always one that always kind of gets brought up, like in the conversation. Like, there's one about a vending machine. Well, it got an anime. and it turns out it's good.
Right? Not amazing. Again, it's still isekai trash, but it was entertaining with the first episode.
If you are into isekai trash, this is for you. This is great. If you hate isekai with a passion, you might still hate this. I'm sorry.
Oh, you'll definitely. If you don't like isekai, you won't like this. But if you like isekai, here's a fun one because I can't think of any other inanimate object that has gotten isekai'd.
There was a sword, but technically he could move with magic, so
oh,
not really.
He was a sword. Never mind. There are now a few. So I feel like the next thing will be more of the I'm isekai'd as this person's pet. There are a few of those light novels. They're definitely coming to anime. And no, I don't mean Inukai-san's dog. That was bad. But this one at least, what, that time I was reborn as a vending machine? That time I got reincarnated as a vending machine?
Yo, just put an anime vending machine.
Right? So yeah, he just appears as a vending machine.
As long as
reborn as a vending machine. Now I wander the dungeons. Yeah, now I wander the dungeons.
Oh my god. Now, if it's okay, Bree, can I continue and say what I'm watching?
Oh, I'm still watching so many others, but fine. Okay, go. You get one.
Oh
Hurry
up. You get one. You
get one.
Oh gosh, guys, we're gonna do a poll. All right, so I am excited for the continuation of Jobless Reincarnation. That is my favorite. That is Rudy, as troublesome as he is. All the other characters couldn't do any wrong to me. This is an amazing isekai. I blame Derby. Derby has turned me into an isekai fiend, and I've converted. Praise isekais. Now, when I see a truck, I look at it different.
Really it's a little concerning.
I'm ready. Because I'm ready.
I want to be like Darius Jackson here, but you know, you a whole mom now. Like,
you know what? I know, but Catalina, you telling me that I can eat all the pastries I want just as long as I go to the bathroom within an hour and I can start all over again? Come on. That's a bitch's dream. I'm telling you right now. Another one that I'm pleasantly surprised. I actually ran and read the manga first because of the synopsis. It's called My Happy Marriage. So I read up to 50 chapters to this, and this was when it came out, I was looking for it like crazy on Crunchyroll, but it turned out it was on Netflix. Netflix. Kudos to you. Thank you. So it's pretty good. The synopsis is a woman who's being mistreated at home by her father and her half-sister and her stepmom. And they marry her off to this potentially evil guy because, you know, they used her as a maid in the palace that they're in. And finally, it was like, it was a bad upbringing, period. So it does turn out to have quite, you know, things start to change for her. But the only issue I have is that she's always saying she's unworthy of something. Rice, water, a new kimono, sandals, hairpins, like essential shit. Like, here's your husband. The least he could do is have a place for you to sleep. And you're sitting there talking about, oh my God, these sheets, they're actually clean. Should I even be worthy of something like this?
But how long does it go on? Do you know? Like, does she eventually stop?
Listen, no. She never stopped. It just keep going. I kept on reading and I'm like, yo, she still keep going. And she's not a bad looking girl. She's very, very beautiful. It's just that they don't really give her much to eat where she was at prior. So, and then her hair, she has a lot of patches in her hair because her hair is falling out because of the malnutrition. They made sure to put that in the manga. So, but when she starts living with him, she starts eating well. She's not doing forced labor. She's relaxing, getting sun and all that. And she looks great. The Komodos fit her nice. They don't got holes in them. And still, she feels like this guy is like her savior because he's doing her a favor by being with her. And that's the thing I really don't like. Listen, And this is what genre is this? They fall under I don't know. Can we consider this a shoujo?
It's like
No, it just says fantasy romance.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm a little disappointed because even in fantasy romance, a woman can't even write proper. They can't even write women characters properly. This is trash. I don't want I like it a little bit, but I don't like the fact that they depend on this man for everything. And then she was mistreated so bad that even a glass of water is something that she feels like, oh my God, now I got to give him everything. I got to devote everything to this man, everything because he gave me a glass of fucking water. So that's very I don't know. I think it's dangerous for women to think that way. So that's why I'm an advocate for women to always be confident and know that you're worth more. Everything you want in life, just understand that you're worth 10 times that. Big up yourself. All right. So the next one that I am excited for, not too excited, but I'm curious to see. Oh, nah. What I was talking about yesterday, the big fat cat. Hold on. Let me get the time. There's a cover art with this lady. She's putting on her work shoes to leave the house, and there's a big fat cat with an apron about to give her lunch.
The cat is depressed again today.
Huh?
The masterful cat is depressed again today.
There it is. There it is. That's my shit. First of all, that's a scary fucking cat. I don't care what anybody say. There's nothing cute about this cat because the way he looks like he's gonna scratch the shit out of me. But the food that, ladies and gentlemen, I watched the first episode yesterday. This bitch got 5 full course meals. 5 full course meals. I'm like, damn it. Can we wait till the 5th episode? Like, why you going in? We got 2 breakfasts, lunch. We talk about 2 different bento boxes. Not only that, this bitch had a snack. Because after she took a shower and bathed, and this is after she ate dinner, she opened up the fridge for something and she said, oh, you about to fry me some shrimp? And the cat is like, that's for tomorrow. He said, I can't get a taste though before I go to bed. Bitch, you had a whole dinner. He said, yeah. And this is what she does to guilt him. This is so funny. She's talking to the shrimp. She's like, you know what? It's a shame, but I will see you tomorrow. I can't wait. Because tomorrow you'll be dipped in sauce and crispy and crunchy because you're made out of love. It's a shame I can't have you today. And the cat gives in and fries the fucking shrimp. And she eats it. When I tell you this is a satisfying, you can't watch this hungry, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I wish my dog did that. Like, that is a pet. That is a proper pet there.
There's a proper pet. That is a proper pet. But this gave me feels like my roommate is a cat. This gave me the whole, this was a vibe. This is a vibe. Another one I'm anticipating for, one that I'm very disappointed. I'll give you one I'm very disappointed. Sugar Happy Slave Apple Free Tail Life.
Somehow got a season 10.
Yeah.
Who decided that this was okay?
Does anyone know, has the slave been freed?
Probably not. There's probably some KKK members who enjoy anime. That's all I could think of.
But this ain't for you. This ain't for you. Like, first of all, this is disturbing in so many ways. Who okayed this? I want to see the numbers because I'm looking at the following right now. Oh my God, 26,000 people are following. It got a 7.58 star. No, these are none of our followers. None of our followers is watching this. And if you are, shame on you. Because the way this brings back 400 years of fucking slavery and oppression, this dude doesn't deserve this at all. At all. And this is terrible. And don't touch my wing. Don't touch my wing.
Right.
So
wild.
I gotta know, what episode exactly does she free the slave?
Probably never, Brie. Probably never.
It could have happened in season 1. I just don't know.
I feel like she's using that as an excuse because the animation is pretty.
It's gorgeous. I would love to watch it, except it is unwatchable. Again, I thought first episode she's gonna do it. Okay, fine. She hasn't left town yet. Second episode, let's go.
First episode,
third episode, and then they got the Coon Fairy, where you should feel proud to like serve your master. Nope, done.
It was too close.
Done. Tapping out.
Couldn't.
You can serve these nuts. This shit, you bugging. You is bugging. Oh, I was like, when I saw this, I was like, first of all, who said this is okay? Somebody gonna lose their job tomorrow. Cause I'm pretty sure. But then when I look at the ratings, I'm like, all right. People asked for this. They watching this. And the next one, real quick, the gene of AI.
Yeah, that one's good.
Okay, I feel like it's good. I feel like it's good. I really do. I'm gonna tap into this. I have high expectations for this.
They're heavy into sci-fi and like some of the moral quandaries of that kind of stuff.
This is
So
it.
like Psychopaths, Babylon, all of those. Like this is up your alley.
I was waiting for you to mention Babylon.
I
Great.
always mention Babylon. You know, it got to.
You know. First of all, I just want to say thank you, Madhouse, because you did this one. And it's been a minute since I've really seen you. I mean, you've been out there, but not as you was in the 90s. And I'm ready to see you do some more stuff. You know, you was always pleasant. You was nice. You was never rude to me. You was never mean. I'm ready to revisit. We can go out again. Call me when you're free.
So, watching many of the same things. One that I'm particularly excited for. I judge many people for watching toxic reality TV shows, but rewatching this,
you don't know me.
I didn't even say anyone's name. But yeah, I judge a lot of people for that, and I am a hypocrite because one of the shows I'm watching this season is pure toxicity and just pettiness. I rewatched season 1. Season 2 is out. The King of Petty is back. Masamune's Revenge, season 2. You insulted me as a child. I'm coming back for it. Like, oh, how much fun I'm having. I'm having the time of my life. So I really thought I would watch season 1 and be like, oh, I was just a dumb child. This is very bad. No, loved every second of it. Like Brie will tell you, she was like in the bathroom just hearing me like chuckling to like mad laugh for no reason. Like, so yeah. I'm very happy. I watched episode 1, just as good as ever. So yeah, if you enjoy a toxic romance, Masamune's Revenge is up your alley.
I want to see him win. Is that wrong of me? Like I want
to.
We know it's going to end with him and her getting.
Oh no, without a doubt. That's why we just call it a romance. Straight up.
You gotta pay though. You gotta pay cash.
Like and like every episode she just makes you want to hate her so much more. It's like, oh, it's gonna be so satisfying when he dumps you. It's never gonna happen. But
wasn't there a part when she didn't want to eat in front of everybody? She eats.
Yeah, that's the whole thing because she eats like a massive amount, so she's very embarrassed about it.
The way I would have recorded and had it on TikTok, the way she eats. The way I would have just said, how the fuck she put this away? How you have a mong bong in lunchtime in the closet? I would have roasted her.
There's one more that actually caught me by surprise. So I've kind of fallen out of favor with a lot of ecchi shows. But this one, for whatever reason, I liked it because of how many excuses they gave this guy for trying his best to not be an ecchi pervert. So like episode 1 ends with him trying to join a monastery so that he can not be a pervert like his father. So,
oh my god, what show is this?
It's called Temple. So obviously it is an ecchi show, so his
not
plan
ecchi,
failed.
but a full-on harem.
Yeah,
hey, I moved into a house with 5-6 girls who all want my dick.
Exactly. So, but the fact that he's doing his damnedest to not be just made it so endearing to me. So it came as a surprise that I really liked the show. So I'm excited to watch the rest of it.
It is a harem.
Yeah.
Oh, this reminds me of that show back in the day where that guy moved into a dorm with all women.
Which one? You'll have to be specific.
Right.
Damn, I forgot. I think it starts with an H.
No, that's not it.
Nah, I think it starts with an H or something like that, or an N. But it's very old school. I think it was the first. Wait, hold on. It's very old school. Damn, I forgot.
Oh, and one more. Level 1 Demon Lord and One Room Hero. Simple fantasy comedy, hilarious. I can't really describe it without spoiling it. So yeah, give it a try. Tell me how you like it, and if you don't, keep it to yourself.
Oh wait, I got one more. Just one more for me. I promise this is the last one. I've kind of run out of faith with some of these anime. It's like, oh, psychological battle games and win the battles. Because I watched Tomodachi Game and I was a little disappointed. But there is one called Liar Liar this season, and it should
also
be one
had a
like,
shit trailer.
I saw it.
Go to a school, and you have to like win your way up the social ladder by like challenging people to bets and winning. A little bit like Kakegurui-ish. So it starts with that. Except our poor main character is one of those, like, zero skill. I have to bullshit my way to the top. It is a bullshit my way to the top anime. That should be the real name. It's not Liar Liar, it's BS the anime. And so for the first episode was just hilarious.
First two,
as
you
people
gave us
pushed
two.
him into making ridiculous decisions. Like, I have to do what?
All right, I guess.
I don't know what's happening, but yes, sir. So he just is lucky to have a bit of a stone face, like resting bitch face, less mean and more just like arrogant and confident. So as he's just standing blank faced, he's entering into these bets and now has to find a way to climb to the top. So as of the first episode, Liar Liar was very amusing to me.
So yeah.
And that's our anime.
I mean, there's a few others that haven't dropped yet, and you know, we'll tell you
We're
more.
still waiting. We're still
Right?
waiting.
Like
We'll do,
Hulk
like, the
is
mid-season
probably going to
check-in
be
later.
pretty good.
But you know what's so crazy? We've always said that summer anime is. We've always said that summer anime is the season where we just play catch up.
Yeah.
This is some heat.
How
This-
dare they start making my
No,
summer
right?
anime good? I have always been proud to say, you know, summer anime sucks. It's the season you can skip. And yet now, repeatedly,
Not
I think
anymore.
someone took that personally. Like every
They're like,
animation
yo,
studio in Japan said bet.
yeah, they're like,
Listen.
yo, Brit, your schedule, fuck your schedule.
Right?
You know
You
what?
have nothing to do. You can watch just a few more. It's trash. You'll skip it anyway. Here's a double episode feature for the first one. Enjoy.
Right?
I say ever since that Brie moved to Cali, she worked for Crunchyroll. Always said that summer anime was ain't shit. I felt like someone heard her by the cooler, because you know in the water coolers, that's what you talk your most shit with your other colleagues. Someone heard her on the way to the bathroom, was like, gotcha, bitch. Let's go upstairs. We got a meeting tomorrow. And they just said, let's bring out nothing but heat. Fuck the wall. Let's bring out nothing but heat. It's her fault. It's
Even
her
the
fault.
crap ones are heat. Like Sweet Reincarnation, the pastry chef that gets isekai.
Oh,
That's
yes.
really
Vending
very
machine
good.
isekai. How dare they
Yes.
make isekai good
Yeah.
this season?
Like, yo, so they made it. The premise sounded great. Then I heard some reviews say, "Oh yeah, he's not actually making pastries." All right, it's gonna be bad. Watched episode 1 and 2. I'm like, I love this. This is amazing. He's so competent.
This is how I know they really didn't give a fuck about our feelings this summer. And a lot of people loved Horimiya. For it to come out season 2 this summer, that's crazy to me.
I haven't even gotten to it yet, but I'm excited.
I mean, it's called peace.
Right?
There's no peace with this. This is too much. I would be glad and regain some of my peace if you came out at the fall, but this is too much.
The fall's
This is
gonna be
not-
busy.
And there's still so many that haven't really launched yet. So for those who are fans of Bungo Stray Dogs, that 5th season's coming out. Hatarakumao, The Devil is a Part-Timer.
Yeah.
That's coming out like in a few
Yes.
days.
Yes.
What else?
wait,
What else do
little-
we have?
what's the little girl who's in love with the big dude, the little senpai. What's her
Oh,
name?
I
I
tried
wouldn't-
that one. I didn't adore it, but I'm probably gonna give that another shot.
I will
Like
not.
my senpai
tiny,
is small
that's
and
what it is.
adorable.
My tiny senpai. Come on, that OP fire. My tiny senpai. No, 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 no.
Oh
No,
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 that's
you're
my
thinking-
senpai is annoying. That was
Yeah,
a
this is
PC
not
video.
a-
I
yeah,
loved
this is
my
a separate
senpai is
shot.
annoying.
This is something different. Why she look the same? She don't look like the
Not the
girl.
senpai this time. But what is coming out as well is Helk.
Now
That's
Hulk
coming
is
out in like 2 days.
now that's an interesting premise. Like they're fighting, they have a tournament for the Demon Lord, and a human just pulls up. So like I'm excited to see how that goes. Few volumes are out. Ugh.
We got Spy Classroom. So there's still so many anime that haven't really started yet. We will have to do another episode where we just say, yo, what did we keep up with? How much are we loving Zom 100? The answer is
Bree,
a lot.
There's so many animes that I haven't kept up yet. So I don't know where we going with this. I don't know like if I'm gonna have a social life after
No.
this, because it's gonna be I'm not touching grass. I'm not touching grass.
Eh, grass is overrated.
It's too hot to touch grass.
Very
That
overrated,
too.
right?
Yo,
Come on.
it's wet in the morning for whatever reason. Like it's a
What
whole
is
thing.
that for? Ew.
For who?
Yuck. Oh my God. Oh, and before we leave, ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple of announcements that we would like to share with you.
Oh yeah.
So hold on. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got a panel at DreamCon. Look at that. Ain't that pretty? Thank you, Bree. So we do have a panel at DreamCon. It's going to be Friday, July 28th, 4 p.m. at the workshop room, right? Meeting at the workshop room 3, meeting room 619. 619, ladies and gentlemen. Pull up. We're going to talk about making nerd spaces our own. So we do have a special guest. Dr. Omar Johnson is
Stop saying that. We're going to get sued.
Yeah, right.
First of all, I can't tell you everything because the haters is watching. I can't tell you everything because the haters is watching. But please, ladies and gentlemen, pull up. We're going to show Texas what New York is all about, how we do things, and we want to have a good time. So if you are going to DreamCon, we want to meet you. We want to say hi. We want to give you some cool stickers too. Like, we want to be able to converse and have fun with you and meet our listeners, because without y'all, we would not exist. And we want to take the time out to say, DreamCon, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to have a panel and for us to express ourselves in the most important con of the year, because it is DreamCon, and we never thought this. Well, I never thought this day would come. So thank you so much. And, is there anything else we're missing?
Nope, that's it.
And with that being said, we are done. I'm out. Peace, ladies and gentlemen.
Peace.